Hello everyone and welcome back to Power of the Veil. I just wanted to give you a little history on how I got involved in veiling. It's a very, it's a sad story, but with hopefully a happy ending here. As you can tell, I've got the model dressed up in the niqab. I just love it. But first of all, I was inspired to make this video because there's another YouTuber out of Finland, and her name is Niqabi Nextdoor. And I learned how to tie a niqab watching her video, and also from other Muslim sisters. They taught me how to tie the hijab. Just to recap, the niqab is this front panel here on the face. It usually just leaves the eyes open. Sometimes you can pull it all the way down to cover even up to the eyebrows, but I don't know. For all purposes, I guess we can pull it down if we like. This bloody styrofoam head. This one does not have a wimple on. So there you go. All right, that'll do her some justice. And then the hijab is just if you had some kind of headscarf on, some kind of veil. Now, I'm not Muslim, all right? And it's kind of ironic because Niqabi Nextdoor, the other YouTuber, she's from Finland. And I'm actually pagan. And I happen to worship the Scandinavian pantheon. The Nordic gods, Odin and Freya, Frigga, Thor, Tyr. And so it's really funny how she's from Finland and she's Muslim, and here I am veiling and I'm pagan, following the gods, from her region. So it's kind of funny, but you'll like her channel. She's very sweet and a really nice girl. All right, so this is what happened. Unfortunately, I can't go into too many details, but I'm a victim of some very abusive relationships and people. My ex-fiance was hurting me and stalking me, and I had to get away from him. I'm safe now. I'm currently under protection, but, since there are minors watching this, I don't want to go into details as to what he did to me. And so, he was constantly stalking me and following me, and he would send people. And so there were a few kidnapping attempts, and the last one was by far the scariest. They had disabled my phone through Find My app, my phone app, Find My Phone. They had erased all the contacts on my phone list. I couldn't call for help, and I couldn't get the police out there. I had called them, but where I was, it was going to take about an hour for the police to get out. They had previously broken into my place, and I was off running outside. I don't want to go into all the details as to how I was getting away, but I was outside of my home, and they had pretty much blocked the streets so that I couldn't get away. I couldn't leave the subdivision. I couldn't get to my neighbors that were my friends because their roads were blocked. And so they basically were coming at me. It was a group of men, and they had flashlights, and I can hear them talking. They were getting very close to where I was, and there was nowhere for me to actually hide. And I was very afraid because I didn't want them to hurt me again. And so I called out to Freya, which is the goddess of love, and also she's a war goddess. And I said, Freya, please help me. Please throw your cloak of invisibility on me, that they can't see me and they can't find me, so I can be safe. Well, a few seconds later, I could see their flashlights and I can hear them, and they were going, where is she? Where is she? We can't see her. And I was right in front of them. Right smack in front of them. And I just kind of held my breath, and they turned around and they kind of gave up. They looked for a little bit, but they gave up at that spot where I was hiding, and they left. And I was like, wow, that's a miracle. That's a miracle that they did not come and get me, because they'd already tried to kill me. My ex tried to kill me. So anyway, I don't want to get depressing. The thing is that I started, like, become intrigued about these veils and scarves and things. And then later on, you know, they were following me again. And I had some Muslim friends and some Muslim sisters, and I was like, you know, those Muslim ladies are pretty smart. They know how to cover up and not be recognized. And so I went to the mosque, and the Muslim sisters were so gracious. They taught me how to put on a hijab. And I was like, this is great, but I think I'd feel safer in a burqa. I really want to cover more. But they're like, no, we don't wear the niqab here, you know. And it's really sad. It's because sometimes people will harass them for it. But I said, no, I want to wear the niqab. And that's how I found Niqab Neighbor's YouTube channel, and I learned how to put one on. And so this way, when I went out shopping to go get groceries, I was no longer being followed because they could not recognize me. And I felt so much safer to actually be able to go out and get food in peace. You know, to go out, and if I wanted to buy a pair of shoes or a handbag, or, oh, someone's back to join us. I see you've got to get down from there, little one. Oh my goodness. Aren't they sweet? Anyway, I hope you like cats, because this one's not going anywhere. So the thing is that it felt so good to have some kind of normalcy back in my life. And I started studying about veils and wimples and scarves, and I found out that veiling actually began with paganism. All right? The goddesses, the pagan goddesses were veiled. The queens were veiled. That's why you see all these old statues and frescoes from Rome and Greece. The women were veiled. Now, they were not veiled to the extent as wearing a niqab. You know, they would leave that open, but, you know, have the neck open, but they always had something on their heads. And then I started studying more, and it said that veils were only allowed on women that were respectable and of good reputation, and women that were not so wholesome. Again, we've got young ones that watch this channel. Were not allowed to wear veils. The things that my ex put me through left me feeling a bit unwholesome. He abused me in every which way and allowed his friends to abuse me. So I was feeling really bad about what had happened to me. And I realized that what had happened to me was not my fault. And that, yes, I was respectable. And that, yes, I had value and worth and I started veiling. It felt good to put on beautiful fabrics, make different fashions, and just look gorgeous and look like the queen and the goddess that I am. It was very self-empowering. It just felt, little one, you can't stay there. This cat is just crazy tonight. It felt good to reclaim my dignity and my pride because of the things that had happened. So I just loved it. So I started wearing them to work. And my supervisor's like, "Oh, are you cold?" I said, "No." She's like, "Well, you can't wear that in here." And I said, "Oh, yes, I can. I wear it for religious reasons." And she said, "Well, do you have a note?" I said, "You don't need a note to be in with your religion. Come on now. All right, that's my religion." And in the country I'm in, they have to respect your freedom of religion. So I just started wearing it. Well, other girls and women started wearing them at work too. Because it's not just pagan. It's not just Muslim. All right? Jewish women, they also wear head coverings. You'll see like so many different fashions where they wear like they're more tight. They're not as loose like this, but they'll wear them. Christian women wear them in prayer. Catholic women wear them to mass. Hindu women wear them. And let me tell you, some of the Hindu fashions, they wear theirs open like this, all right? And they put all these head chains and pins, and some of their veils have actual gold thread in them. And oh, they're so beautiful. I really like wearing those Hindu sari scarves because they are just absolutely gorgeous and remarkable. You see Africans wear them. There's different ones for different occasions. You know, they've got them for weddings. They've got them for meetings. You know, they've got them for everyday work. And it's not just, you know, women. I mean, Sikhs, male and females, wear turbans. Yoga teachers like to wear them because it kind of constricts the bones in the head. It's almost like an adjustment at the chiropractor, and it helps them focus and meditate. So as you can tell, you know, you can wear a head covering for any reason. And see what I mean? I like to just play with it and just see different possibilities to wear them with. But it's almost like having a crown on your head. And it's kind of ironic because the word corona is the Spanish word for crown. And so I really feel like I'm wearing a crown where I wear my veil and a wimple. I don't wear them all the same fashion every day. I wear them different ways. But, you know, this whole coronavirus, I started using the niqab more often just to keep me from touching my face, you know, my nose and my mouth and my eyes, to kind of, you know, not spread the virus and germs onto my face, because that's what they're recommending right now. So basically, it's just empowerment, pure empowerment. Another thing is that in the Middle Ages, it was the rich people that wore the veils and wimples, because the peasants and the serfs, they couldn't really afford the expensive fabrics. So perhaps they might just tie a kerchief on. So it's almost like a lavishness, a luxury. And you could tell who were the aristocrats. And I know this sounds a bit presumptive and maybe even a bit kind of snooty, but it's a luxury I like to give to myself. It builds my self-esteem. It makes me feel beautiful. It makes me feel cherished, respected. That was one thing that I noticed when I started going out with the niqab. I was like, oh my God, I hope that I'm not targeted and get harassed. But I found people respecting me. They were like, oh, you know, like if I said, excuse me, they're like, oh, sure, ma'am. You know, no one called me ma'am before. You know, it was just a level respect. And, you know, as we've said before, you know, the word hijab means boundary, you know. It helped me set my boundaries up. So that's just a little bit of background on this. If you like this video, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Comment below. Let me know if you are doing some sort of veiling, and if it's a cultural or religious things. I'd like to learn more about it, and I know that others here on the channel would like to learn as well. So, you know, I'm really glad that I've got you guys out here listening and encouraging and liking these fashions. They are available on Etsy, and the link is down below in the description. And I'm so glad to be part of this community here on YouTube. So bright blessings to you.